So, good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I ask you to take a seat? There was a bit of a queue downstairs, so we waited a little bit, but I think we have to start. So, a big day today, and I'm very grateful that Vice President Neelie Kroes is here to give a speech in the beginning. Unfortunately, my Commissioner, Maura Geoghegan-Quinn, is not able to come because she had not a very serious, but she had a slight accident over the weekend, and so she cannot make it. I will try to give the speech on her behalf, and then we will go on with the signing signature so that we seal it all today, the contractual PPPs, which we have been working for the preparation quite a while. So, may I ask immediately Vice President Neelie Kroes to start?
Good morning, everybody. Great to have you all. And indeed, what was mentioned, it's a pity that Maura can't join us for this big event. I offered her my other stick, but I'm not certain if that is the wish she has. I also offered her a wheelchair. Well, anyhow, we wish her all the best and that she still can enjoy the Christmas period. As you all know, we have just launched Horizon 2020. My goodness, the EU's new framework program for research and innovation. And as of last week, the first calls are already out there. Overall, this is 79 billion of investment over 7 years, focused more than ever on innovation, on bridging the gap between the lab and the market, and with a significant proportion set aside for digital IDs. So it's really making sense. Because I know investing in research and innovation is investing in our future, and our future starts this afternoon. I know that we do that best when we work together. Together as Europe, together with the two DGs, great, absolutely fascinating what is at stake, together between EU and member states, together between public and private sectors, and I know it is in digital sectors, in ICT innovations, that we find so many rich and transformative opportunities. This opportunity, this agreement is excellent news for all of us. The overall budget is a significant deal in difficult economic times. So don't come with the message it could be more. This is, under the circumstances, absolutely impressive and a significant opportunity for tomorrow's jobs and growth. But now we must do our duty by spending it as well and as wisely as we can. We must focus on the goals that matter to society, the sectors that matter to our economy, and get as much impact from public funds. This is where our public-private partnerships come in. Boosting Europe's industrial leadership and competitiveness is one of the 3 main priorities of Horizon 2020. And these partnerships are at the heart of that leadership, and particularly when it comes to ICT, where 4 PPPs are launched. Number 1, photonics, a global market worth 350 billion euros last year, with Europe taking 18%. So let's go for more. Number 2, robotics, with applications from agriculture, healthcare, transport to manufacturing, security, and utilities. Number 3, high-performance computing, a strategic innovation tool, helping scientists and society benefit from the big data boost. Number 4, 5G, the next generation of communications technology, moving towards fully integrated wireless and fixed broadband. And I'm still impressed what was done in the 90s, in the last century, with 3G. Let's make the same, the leader's position of Europe for the 5G. And let's not forget the factories of the future, PPP, using robots, 3D and laser-based manufacturing and other tools to ensure more efficient, more flexible, more smart and sustainable production. And together, this means a substantial core of Horizon 2020 digital investment will be through such partnerships, 4.5 billion euros, innovating to translate excellent research into market success, leveraging and maximizing funding and getting the most bang from taxpayers' euros, helping Europe's re-industrialize and innovate. Why those areas? And of course, that is a question that makes sense. Well, just to put it very clear, that are the vital and important areas to our whole economy. All areas where Europe with the right skill has the potential to compete globally or create new markets. Indeed, in some cases, we are already. All are areas where strong commitments can help us invest in goals that are ambitious, strategic, long-term, with a solid alliance between public and private sectors and between industry, research and academic players. So this approach is a big step forward from the past, a smarter way to research and innovation, emphasizing faster innovation processes and quicker time to market, looking at the entire innovation and value chain, from advanced research to deployment and take-up, from pilot production lines to large-scale demonstrations, ultimately giving us a European industry that is stronger, more competitive, more innovative, and with more cooperation between the different actors. So here is our challenge, the challenge for the next 7 years. The tool is only as effective as we, you and I, make it. So let's work smarter. Let's work outside of silos, working with other challenges of Horizon 2020, like societal challenges, creating new opportunities and new solutions, becoming the basis for a comprehensive, successful industrial strategy in each of those sectors, leveraging other financing, not just European, but also local, national, regional, not just Horizon 2020, but also the EU structural and investment funds. Not just public funding, but also private and venture capital. And all this can complement and support Horizon 2020 and make its goal easier to achieve. And let's not forget the most important challenge in Europe today, employment. To make those PPPs work, you need people with the right skills, while the citizens of Europe are crying out for brighter, better job prospects. So I sincerely hope these partnerships can attract talented workers and build up the skilled workforce we need. So just finalizing, I congratulate you for what you have achieved over the recent years, and taking into account that that is the best foundation you can think of to build on. Armed with these PPPs and a comprehensive industrial strategy for each sector, we can ensure vigorous European leadership that creates a better future for all. Europe should be back in town. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice President Nelly Cruz, for these important messages. I was asked now to give on behalf of my Commissioner, Maura Geoghegan-Quinn, her speech. So I will try to do that at my best. And first, let me pass her thanks to all of you to be here at this Information Day at the launch of Horizon 2020. Vice President Cruz said it already, big program, nearly 80 billion, largest individual research program in the world. And we are very grateful to the heads of state and government who have given us this trust, this confidence that they have entrusted the European Commission with this large amount of money to spend for research and innovation. Of course, the name of the day is Horizon 2020, but it's not the only subject. I think if we talk about innovation, it's much broader. We would like to get all the intellectual capital of the European Union mobilized, and we have a number of things which are on track, which is, for example, the joint programming initiatives, which is the annual monitoring of progress on innovation. It is an innovation and research observatory, and it is the recently proposed single indicator of innovation output, which would serve us for better monitoring. But of course, the name of the day is Horizon 2020, and if you look into Horizon 2020, here you have two main subjects which are going through the entire program, which is innovation and simplification. We would like to bring all EU-level funding for research and innovation under one roof, so that we can support you in a seamless way in the journey from excellent fundamental research all the way to innovative products, services, and processes. So, in a part of the program we are dealing with today, we are talking about industrial leadership. And here is the home of many of the contractual PPPs. Key enabling technologies. They are underpinning innovation, and they include nanotechnologies, advanced materials, biotechnologies, information communication technologies, advanced manufacturing, and space. Leaderships in these domains will make European industry more competitive and more successful in the world market. However, in order to be successful, we need to speed up the process. This is why simplification is so important. Simplification applies across the whole program. It will make it easier for our scientists and business people to access EU funding. Horizon 2020 applies the same rules everywhere, whereas FP7 still had a lot of different rules. That means it's now easier for you to participate. The reimbursement of projects cost will be much simpler with a single reimbursement rate for most projects. That means less paperwork and fewer audits. And under Horizon 2020, projects will be up and running in 8 months. That's approximately 4 months more rapid than we had it in FP7. Now, coming to the objective of this Information Day and the contractual PPPs. First of all, the Commissioner would like to thank all our industrial partners for their excellent cooperations over the last, I must say, couple of years, which were taken to prepare for the contractual public-private partnerships. So the PPPs, in a way, represent an element of continuity between FP7 and Horizon 2020, as well as a symbol of renewal. Already in FP7, 1.6 billion euro was spent in public-private partnerships, and we had 3 of them: automotive, construction, manufacturing, all of them in close cooperation with the colleagues from the ICT part. So it was always not only one single program which was dealing with it, but it was always several programs which brought their efforts together in order to be successful. Now this number has been increased, and we have now a more significant impact. These contractual PPPs can make in the future. The overall budget foreseen under for the PPPs under the responsibility of my commission is 3.4 billion. And this 3.4 billion, like the other PPPs under the responsibility of DG Connect, should really leverage much significant additional funding from the private side. The contractual PPPs are concerned with applied research. And we would like to bring together the entire value chain from small companies to large companies. This is so vital because we know that research and innovation means growth and jobs. These partnerships offer huge opportunities for companies and researchers right across Europe, and in particular also for SMEs. You remember yesterday the figure was mentioned, 25 to 30% of the funding went into SMEs. So more money will be available for testing, prototyping, demonstration, pilot-type activities, business-driven RTD, promoting entrepreneurship and risk-taking, and for shaping demand for innovative products and services. We will also be less prescriptive about what projects need to do. On the other side, we will be more demanding about the impact. And we want to get impact out of the individual projects and of groups of projects. The industrial representatives of the three original PPPs, Factory of the Future, Energy Efficient Building and Green Vehicles, are joined here this morning by their counterparts from 5 other contractual PPPs: Sustainable Process Industry, Robotics, Photonics, High Performance Computing, and the 5G network infrastructure. We are all here for an important event, the signing ceremony of the contractual arrangements on these public-private partnerships, and we would like to see all the 8 public-private partnerships to start kind of this afternoon. These 8 contractual public-private partnerships were selected for Horizon 2020 on the basis of their ability to meet a number of key criteria. First is the demonstrated added value at the EU level. Second, the scale of impact on the industrial competitiveness, sustainable growth, and socioeconomic issues, which is greater than would be achieved without the PPPs. A governance founded on the principle of transparency and openness. A clear, long-term commitment from all partners, both public and private, on a shared vision and clearly defined objectives. A scale of resources that leverages additional investment in research and innovation. A clear definition of roles for each of the partners. And last but not least, agreed key performance indicators to monitor the success. The private sector of each of the contractual PPPs has sent to the Commission, after an open public stakeholder consultation, the industry proposal for the establishment of the partnership before the summer. In July, then the Commission has made an evaluation with independent experts. Then some modifications were still taken, and now these roadmaps are annexed to the contractual arrangement. So what I want to say here, it's a very open, transparent process which led us to these public-private partnerships. And this open, transparent, and efficient dialogue between the parties has to continue, and what we want to cover is the commitment of both sides to meet a set of specific technical, industrial, employment, growth, and sustainability objectives. The indicative funding, of course, very important from both sides. An open and transparent governance. The cooperation to develop work programs for the research and innovation actions throughout Horizon 2020. Leverage factors for additional investment, monitoring of process, and, very important, planning horizon up to the end of the program, up to the year 2020. So together, all our ICT-based and DG Research-based contractual PPPs have a total volume of 6.2 billion. It's a very significant amount if you compare to 80 billion total funding in Horizon, 6.6 billion for these 8 public-private partnerships. So we, the Commission, we commit to duly consider inputs and advice from the private side in order to identify research and innovation activities to be proposed in the different work programs. So we will do it like we did it already before with the contractual PPPs we know, with a permanent dialogue with the private side in order to get our work programs right. You, the private side, you are committing to achieve these objectives of the partnerships, in particular to contribute to the identification of research and innovation activities to be included in the Horizon 2020 work program. Very important, you also commit to engage the entire stakeholder community, a very open process. Very important for us that we don't deal with a club, but that we deal with a very open community, I think, which was very well achieved with the existing contractual public-private partnerships we have. You also commit to develop, integrate and demonstrate a number of innovative technologies which will help your sectors to stay competitive in the world market and will provide EU citizens with affordable, personalized and eco-efficient products. For this, additional investment will be required in order to make sure that the results of the contractual PPP projects will be successful and will reach the market. Therefore, within each of the contractual PPPs, industry commits to stimulate further investment into research and innovation, and for each euro of public funding, additional investment of at least 3 euros, in some cases up to 10 euros, is explicitly mentioned in the different contractual arrangements. So today, in signing these contractual arrangements, the private part is showing a strong and lasting commitment to financing and realizing the contractual PPP objectives that we have identified together. Our past experience of the successful implementation of Factory of the Future, energy-efficient building and green cars reassures me that we are going to the right direction for achieving these overall objectives of Horizon 2020. Of course, we will have to keep ourselves regularly informed, consult each other in order to closely monitor the process of the partnerships towards their objectives and to assess the impact of the activities and the leverage of additional investment using appropriate key performance indicators. I think we have a bright future ahead of us if we do it together. We will be able to show that with these contractual PPPs, we have a substantial impact on the competitiveness of the EU industry, on sustainable economic growth, and the creation of highly skilled jobs in Europe. The European Council in October this year invited the Commission and the Member States to continue their efforts in the area of innovation and research. It will take stock of this progress in February 2014, and at that time the Commissioner will be happy to report that another important step has been taken in this direction today. So, I hope that all of you here today are inspired to contribute to this process, to participate in this dialogue, to find partners, to submit proposals for the first round of contractual PPPs in Horizon 20, and to make this public-private partnerships a lively success. Thank you very much. So we come now to the signature process and the signing ceremony, as we call it here. So we start, perhaps I read first that in what order we do it. We start with Factory of the Future. We then go to photonics, then go to robotics, then go to high-performance computing, then to advanced 5G networks, then energy-efficient building, and then European Green Vehicle and last but not least, to the sustainable process industry. So I will just always say the next one which comes next in order so that you can get prepared. So we have already here now in front of us the factory of the future colleagues. So the contractual arrangements will be signed by for the European Commission by Vice President Nelly Cruz. Maura Geoghegan-Quinn has already signed, and from the private side we have Maurizio Gattiglio and Massimo Mattucci. Those who can get prepared is photonics. So, thank you very much. The next one, as I said, is photonics. Again, the Commission represented by Vice President Nelly Cruz. And for the Photonics 21 Association, I have Giorgio Anania and Bernd Schulte. And afterwards, we go to robotics.